You know, and what I'm getting is that you see, when you have good cover, good ground, you don't need a lot of space. Can I tell you something interesting? I want you all to hear this. You know why we have large farms in the United States? Is because they produce so little. Did you hear me? They're huge because they're producing so little. When you have good, rich ground, you don't need a lot of space. It can produce a ton in a small place because it's so incredible. This lady over here was in the orchard weeding, and she was totally blown away at the intricate, totally network of roots that cover the whole space. The apple roots permeate the whole place in there. You go to dig apple trees up in hard dirt, man, the roots are out as far as the drip line aren't many. That place there is just permeated the whole place because the ground is so porous. It provides a life space for roots to grow in. See, we don't see roots, and you don't realize their importance. Let me share something with you interesting, and for you older people, you'll get this. When I was a kid growing up in Los Angeles, which is a desert, Los Angeles is a desert. You never saw anyone, any time of year, ever have a water bottle. Water bottles did not exist. They were non-existent in the 50s. They didn't exist. There was no such thing. And everybody's outside working hard in full sun, and no one's thirsty. Because back in that day, the food was like this, where it had roots and the water was in the food, and we're hydrated with the food we're eating. Today, they're watering like crazy. All your food is dry. Everybody's packing water bottles. They're drinking water with their meals because there's no water in the food. I'm telling you, man, it's huge. And none of us are connecting the dots. None of us realizing there's something wrong with this picture. See the wisdom of the Creator. You know where the richest, cleanest water on the planet is? The water that's in fruits and vegetables. That's the cleanest, most nutritious water that exists. And so the Creator put it there initially for our best interests. See, as you're chewing that food and all that food becomes water soluble, it's quickly digestible. Where when you're drinking water through your meals, that dilutes the digestive process. It starts with your saliva, and then you're not getting the food value out of your food because you're diluting it with water. It's so counterproductive how we live, and we're not realizing, like, this is not how it's supposed to be. And you're going to notice that everything you eat here is full of water. Everything. Because there's roots that can take up water. I'm going to take you out in the orchard. I want to show you a demonstration of how powerful, when you have a cover, how roots develop. It's amazing. If people have questions at any point in time, interrupt me, because I don't want you to leave and I should have asked. Are you hearing me? So just if stuff comes up, say hey.
So how thick is that covering right there?
Well, you can see the ground here.
Okay, so that high. And you don't ever pull up the dead stuff, you just let it lie and it just...
No, now when these ferns die, I get them out of here.
You do? Okay.
I was raised in a Swiss-German culture, and that culture, their mentality is everything has a place, you should be in place. I don't like a bunch of dead ugly stuff in my garden.
Okay, so you pull that
I
up.
take everything out to my chickens, have them process it, and bring it back in this beautiful black stuff that's in the garden.
Oh, cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And it's very, very neat and orderly, and I just love order. Order is just very convenient.
Yes.
I've got a question. We live down in the Tri-Cities, Richland, Pasco, Kennewick, you know, where it's 105.
Yeah.
Okay, how does, you know, as far as not watering?
You may have to water some, but
Okay.
over time you won't. Now, where you live, do you have any wild areas where there's trees growing? Forest?
Only on the river.
Yeah, only on the river.
Okay.
Everything's irrigated
Okay,
there.
all right. That's because they took the skin off.
Yeah.
All deserts are man-made. God made no deserts. They all happen with people taking the cover off. As soon as you put the cover back, it's restored.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it's powerful.
Yeah.
Somebody like a cucumber?
We're 3,000 miles from
Now,
home.
now
3,000
I
miles from
want
home.
you to eat that, and then see, look at all the water content. This one's for you. What's that? Yeah, you can. You have a knife? Here, let him slice it up. Just pass it around. But, again, I want you to watch when he bites into it. I want you to look at the water content. It's just going to blow you away.
And the skin's not tough.
The skin is the most nutritious, mineral-rich part of the
Look how he
cucumber.
slices through that, young. And we haven't been able to grow cucumbers. Thank you.
Look at the water.
Who wants to have?
And are you noticing the odor in the air? You can smell it. Can I tell you why? When you go to the store and buy cucumbers, they don't smell. There's a reason. In 10 minutes, not 10 hours, in 10 minutes after fruits and vegetables are picked, they lose up to 80% of their metabolic properties in 10 minutes. And that's why everything tastes so good and smells so good, because you got it fresh. And that's how you're supposed to eat it. Isn't that good?
Here, Yanni. She said,
water.
were you beating somebody else?
There'll be more up front. So
Look how
those
tender the skin is.
Can I talk about tender? Everybody look at me. Body
Just
language.
seeing this tenderness on the
Oh,
skin.
let me tell you why. Things that grow fast are tender and sweet. Things that grow slow are tough and bitter. It's so obvious. There's no resistance. This just couldn't help itself but get big because there's just so much life in the ground. So it's going to be tender and sweet.
I make pickles, but I bet these would be beautiful.
And look at all the water. Are you noticing the water content? You guys won't have to drink water after this. And this is how it's supposed to be. This is the design. This is how food was created to be. Not this dry, totally dehydrated, no flavor stuff. Are you getting the flavor? Is that good?
Wait, you can eat
How-
skin?
These are minerals. Minerals give flavor to food. Everybody listen to me. You are all intelligent beings. And you're given taste buds for a reason. If food doesn't taste good, you shouldn't eat it. Are you hearing me? And you're out there because you went to school and you're putting sauces and dressings and spices to try to make this nasty, dead, unhealthy food taste good. You shouldn't eat it. If it doesn't taste good, it's not good. And you see, when things have minerals, they taste good. Minerals give flavor, vitality to food. I always say the flavor of the food indicates its nutritional value. It does.
It's dripping over
It
this
does. If it tastes good, it is good. If it doesn't taste good, there's nothing there. Don't eat it. And we live in a culture where we spend money for food that doesn't taste good. And we think that's okay. We're brain dead. Something's wrong. Something is wrong here. We've got to wake up. This is not how it's supposed to be.
Do you grow carrots?
I grow carrots. You see right there? They're not very big yet, but they're carrots.
Raise your hand.
Do you see those stalks on them?
He said interrupt in the question. Because he actually gave permission to normally you can't.
So how big do your carrots get?
Depending on how long they grow, they just keep getting bigger. As they grow, they get bigger. Yes.
Yeah, I have harvested zucchini soup.
I use zucchini and all kinds of stuff, but there's a limit what you can use.
Zucchini soup.
Zucchini soup is good. I like zucchini.
Oh, when do you know the carrots are ready?
The
What
size.
is the sign?
The size.
Okay. You
Now,
just dig down around
this is for winter. See, I have in my ground food all winter long. So these are my winter carrots.
Oh, they are. Okay. So you just dig down beside it?
I just pull. Just pull them out. You see, I eat live food all year here. I never go to the store ever. And all winter long I have for root vegetables, I have carrots, beets, rutabagas. Look at those awesome beets out there. And then for greens I have cilantro and all this kale. See, all this kale I have growing, I feed my chickens. That's just my chicken food as well as mine. And this happens to everybody who comes to our house in January. It happens to everybody. It's hilarious. My wife invites people over for dinner, And we always have a kale salad because that's what we have. We always have salads, Everybody who comes says this. I mean, everyone. Carol, we came to your house really hungry, wanted to eat a dinner, and all we had was salad and we're full. I says, you're not full, you're satisfied because you got live food. That was picked 10 minutes ago and your body's saying, thank you. You just fed my cells, we're good. You can eat the whole dinner, you're not full. I says, when's the last time you had live food? Look at you kind of sideways like live food. We're talking live food. And everybody listen to me. Dead food will never produce life. Excuse me? Excuse me. Dead food will never produce life. Conversely, live food can do nothing but produce life. It's so brain dead, simple, common sense, like, duh, what's wrong with us? And here we're out there buying all this stuff in boxes, cans, bags in the store that's totally dead, and we're feeding it to ourselves and our children thinking like we're getting something out of this? What is wrong with us? I'm being real. What's wrong with us? Death will never produce life. And you wonder why you're sick and you're tired, you don't feel good? Come on. Your poor body is freaked out, man. It says, would you give us some live food? We need minerals. We were creating cells. Could you give us something to eat? You know why obesity is so rampant today? If you look at pictures of families 30 years ago, photographs of families where you had grandparents to parents to kids, grandkids, everyone in the picture were lean. Everyone. There was no obese person anywhere. They didn't exist. Because back in that day, they're outside working, they're eating live food, and they're well. Today, people are obese because they're starving to death on full stomachs. The body is saying, I'm hungry, feed me. And they keep packing all this garbage in. The body says, I'm so hungry. And the body can't get it rid of all through defecation, so it packs off in fat cells. I'm telling you, it's so huge. And it's just like, what's wrong with us? I had a guy come here, it was interesting, he's like in his 60s, he went to the permaculture convergence at Fort Flagler. They invited me to go to show my film. He came here on a tour on Sunday. He went to the conference. He was going to be there, but he watched my film that night, and they came back the next morning to go to do a seminar, and the guy's explaining how to grow stuff, and he says to himself, like, this is hard, and this stuff doesn't look near as good as that guy. I'll go to his house. So he came over to the tour. He's out here in my garden. I think he had a piece of celery, a couple pieces of kale, and an apple. And he comes up to me at the end, and he says, you know what? I can't. He says, I'm overweight because I'm always hungry. I'm constantly eating because I'm hungry and overweight. He says, all I had was those few pieces of food and I felt totally full, totally satisfied. He came back in 3 weeks totally lean. 3 months. Really looking good with his wife. And he says, you know, that day changed my life. We're getting out of corporate America, going to buy property, we're going to start doing CSA gardens because that changed my life. I realized why I'm in the state I am. I'm telling you, it's huge. It's totally huge. When you're eating live food like this, it's impossible to get sick. Impossible. You just can't. Because your immune system works. See that kale right there? That kale is probably one of the most powerful foods that exist. Antioxidants, you all know, will take out free radicals that cause cancer. But once the free radical penetrates the cell wall, gets inside the cell, antioxidants cannot get to it because they can't penetrate the cell wall. But the phytochemicals in kale literally go into the cell and eat out, consume the free radical. I'm telling you, that food is amazing. And you'll know the answer before I ask, but this just shows you how we've been lied to in school. Which has the most protein? Kale or bison, buffalo meat?
Kale.
50% more. And the protein in the kale is bioavailable, where the protein in the bison isn't because it takes forever to digest that beast. It's such hard, dead food, and it's hard for your body to break down. And they're telling us in school, the 4 basic food groups, protein is in meat. What a stupid lie. And again, it just shows you how we don't connect. Ever look at the size of that bison or the size of a horse? Those huge, massive muscles, strong beast, big, thick, heavy bones, can way outrun, way outwork you. Where are they getting their protein? Grass and water. Where are they getting their calcium? Grass and water. And they tell us we get it from milk and dairy products and beet. What a stupid lie. And it's in our face. We see it because we went to school. We don't think anymore. We buy that garbage and stay sick. Mandy.
Where are your chickens? I want to see them.
We're on our way. It's going to be the last stop. It's going to be the last stop and you will see them.
So even with all this heat, you haven't done supplemental water.
Look at my grass under your feet. Look at this.
Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's not covered.
Paul, do you collect water in water barrels for the rain?
No, because I have a good well now.
Oh, wow.
And it's just very convenient for me to, I think that's great because the rainwater is the superior water. My water is not bad. It's full of minerals. It's 7.3 alkaline. And by the way, if you came with water bottles, pour them out. And up by the house, there's a Prius there, and there's a drinking fountain. And I encourage all of you thirsty to take, because that water is going to blow you away. It's really good. It's sweet, and it's 7.3 alkaline. It's really good, and it's full of minerals. When my wife was pregnant in California with our first 2 children, she took tons of calcium supplements because she needed to. When we moved here, she took none because it's all in our water.
Oh, that's great.
It's awesome.
How often do you put a wood chip cover over this?
When I get around to it, if I feel like it, I need to. But what I'm finding is so cool. This is what I love about the Creator. He asks, how often do you add a cover to your garden? You see, the Creator knows how He made us, and He knows that when we get older, we have less energy, and things need to be easier. So He tells us in His Word, He says, it's good for a man to bear the yoke in his youth. That means to work hard up front. If you do it right up front, when you get older, you have to do less and less, and you get a higher and higher return. You know what's so pathetic? These poor farmers that went to school and spent a fortune to get an education in American agribusiness are spending more and more money for fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and producing less and less every year. That's got to be hard on your psyche. That's got to do you in. They're spending more and getting less, where I'm doing absolutely nothing and getting more than I can handle. Because the beauty of it is it's like compounding interest. You see, initially it takes a lot, but as it breaks down, it's building a base. And that base never goes away, and so over time, you're gaining on this project and doing less and less work, getting a higher and higher return. And see, the creator who designed this knows how we're made, who made it really well. And if we just connect and start following simple observation, we experience just a really great, comfortable life.